G'day, Ziggy D here, and welcome back for some more Reaper of Souls Hardcore Beta on the Witch Doctor. I think I got all the words in there. Anyway, I think we're going to have a bit of fun in this episode, because not only do we get to do a Rift run with the new Rift changes, which is mostly to do with the boss dropping a heap of cool loot now, but we also finally get to try out the Mystic on this character. So, since we rerolled from the Wizard to the Witch Doctor, they made a change, I think, where you can only get the Mystic once you hit level 34, and since we've now crossed level 34, we now have access to the Mystic and can start using her to improve our gear. Now, a few of you guys requested that I take a bit of a look at the Mystic, just sort of take some time to take a look at how it works with a leveling character, and you guys will for sure see plenty of that happen. But we'll start off this episode with, trying to see what we can do in terms of upgrading our gear. However, first I think it's important to get a good base line level of items. So if we've got like items here that are like level 23, for example, this is not really something we want to be re-rolling. We're level 35, that's a crappy base. We can only roll like up to level 23 affixes on that. So what we really want to do is first craft another shoulders. Now, we have a lot more flexibility in the stuff we craft now, because if we get an item that's potentially good, if we think of it in terms of what the Mystic can do to it, then, we have a lot more options now, basically. So, let's go ahead and check out the shoulders. Where are you, shoulders? There we go. Shoulders are definitely something we want. We're only level 23 at the moment. Hopefully we don't use up too much of our crafting materials crafting the base items, because I do want to save some for the Mystic, because she uses them as well. That's not very good. See, when we look at something like this, there's two stats here that aren't really that helpful. The reduced resource cost is very low, so we could potentially re-roll that into something else. But also summon zombie dogs is actually a pretty good affix. If we wanted to go back to summoning zombie dogs, that's actually a pretty nice set of shoulders there. So, I don't know, I think I might craft one more, because having two affixes I potentially want to re-roll. I don't plan on using zombie dogs just at the moment. Oh, that's actually a really nice set there. Actually, we're kind of missing. See, there's only two affixes on this one, two primary affixes. We want to try and get the three primary affixes if possible, so I'm actually going to craft another pair. Let's see what we can do here. There we go, there's a nice base pair. There's actually not too much to re-roll on this. We could potentially re-roll one of the secondary stats, but since it's just a straight upgrade, I might as well use that anyway. And I can, of course, salvage all these previous items to give me back a little bit more materials, because we do need to be a little bit careful with our crafting materials. We don't have too much, especially exquisite essence is pretty low on that front there, so I have to keep an eye out what we have in terms of that. Our weapon is pretty low level as well, but I might hold out for that. It's a bit hard to roll a good weapon. Level 27 isn't too far behind. Level 22 on the gloves is quite far behind. So let's just craft a few of these items and then take a look at what the Mystic can do for us. So looking for gloves. Oh, looks like we're in the weapons slot here. There we go. Adept gauntlets. What level are these? Level 21. Oh, okay, that's not going to help. Okay, when do we get access to higher level gloves? That must be coming pretty soon. Let's go all and take a look at gloves here. So you can sort of see the new interface for this is pretty nice as well. Next pair is at 36, so we're actually pretty close to that. One more level and we'll be able to craft some gloves. So I'll hold off on those ones. Braces are fine, amulets fine. These are all looking pretty reasonable. Some of them like level 25 and stuff are a little bit low. But now we can sort of just keep an eye out for rares that drop as well. And if they have potential, we can take them to the Mystic. But let's just see if there's anything the Mystic can do for us. It's possible that all of our gear doesn't really need re-rolling all that much, but we'll see what we can do. Something like this could be something we could re-roll. For example, if we didn't want life per hit, we could re-roll that. Crit hit damage is actually not too useful at this point either, so we can actually take a look at what we... We can't craft the amulet. We need the higher level crafting materials for that one. That one's interesting. Why is that the case for the amulet specifically? Interesting. Not sure why the amulet requires the higher level crafting materials, whereas other things don't. Is this just the case with rings and amulets and things? It seems to be. What about the belts? These belts still take the traditional one, so it seems like rings and amulets you can't re-roll while leveling, because these crafting materials here you only start getting after level 61, I think, because that's when you start salvaging those items you get obviously from blues and from rares. So that's pretty interesting. Can't re-roll rings and amulets. That's a bit unfortunate, because it's pretty easy to find like an amulet that's missing one stat and then re-roll it into something amazing while leveling. So that said, these are still pretty okay. I think we can do better on those rings later, but we'll see how we go. So we just re-rolled this. For example, we could try and change something like the Thorns. There's not too much you can do in terms of the secondary affixes, they're just like supplementary things. Like the best thing to do would be to reroll that to XP to help us level, or you could do it for like health globes or something like that. Chill and hit, I guess, but the low percentage, I don't find those to be particularly useful stats. But I'll see if there's anything super useful we can use at the moment. For example, if we had strength boots like we did before, we could reroll those. Otherwise, we can just reroll something with higher stats. What can you reroll bleed into? Crit hit chance is pretty nice. Splash damage, cooldown of skills, resource cost, mana regeneration, and all of those are better than bleed, I think. So that's one potential one we could do there. Is there anything else we'd want to reroll on this? No, the socket's good. The socket counts as a primary. I think if you reroll socket, yeah, it rerolls into other sort of primary things, as you can see there. Whereas something like this is secondary affixes there. So you can actually get more mana from the secondary affix. That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting thing that's unique to the Witch Doctor, I think, there. The experience is good. Let's see if we can reroll this bleed into something more useful. Crit hit chance would be nice on there. Mana regeneration, regenerates 8 life. We could just go for some mana regen for now. I'll try and reroll it once more, see if we get anything better. Sometimes you just get the same things. Well, I think I'll go for mana regeneration 4. That looks like a good option out of those. But here's another one we could do. We could reroll the vitality on our dagger to an intelligence roll. It's a pretty high vitality roll. We could potentially get a higher intelligence roll. And you can actually, I think, reroll things into sockets if you don't have a socket, I believe. So this is something I need to play around with more as well. But let's try and reroll this. Well, we got a higher vitality roll. I'm pretty happy with that. That's really top end as well. So since survivability is pretty important in hardcore, I'll just stick with that. So we're just sort of doing some slight improvements here at the moment. What can we do in terms of our gloves? I'm pretty happy with these gloves, actually. Like, the life pick could be increased slightly. The vitality could be increased significantly, actually. Let's reroll that vitality. We can get a much higher. We can get like 30 plus vitality here. There we go. We almost did too. The 24 regen's pretty high as well. That's pretty high to top end, but we'll go the vitality. I like that base life. What else could we re-roll? I think the helmet's pretty good for now. We're due for an upgrade from that soon. We haven't re-rolled. Oh, we could re-roll strength on here. That's an obvious one there. Why can't... There it is. Okay, there is intelligence. I was like, why can't we roll that to intelligence? Otherwise, crit chance would be good, but I think intelligence is better at this level. We tend to not be stacking enough crit at low levels to make crit really valuable, so I'll be sticking with intelligence if I can roll that. It's funny that the intelligence roll is going to be lower than the strength roll. I guess that's kind of the trade-off for trying to re-roll it. Otherwise, these are, like... Physical skills deal 3 to 7% more damage. If you get the top end roll for that, it's actually really, really powerful, more so than the intelligence, but only if you're using those skills. So let's just re-roll and see what we get on the strength, because strength is pretty much useless to us. There's a 48 intelligence roll, I'm pretty happy with that. What else have we got on here? Grasp of the Dead. We're using Grasp of the Dead, so I'll definitely keep that. 12% damage on Grasp of the Dead is a huge buff. This is actually a pretty nice chest overall. I really like the fizz resist on there as well. That's pretty nice. What about on the old pants? These are getting pretty out of date. I think these are all... Oh, that's a pretty high roll. I don't like our chances at really efficiently re-rolling anything higher there. What about on the belt? Probably nothing too much we can extra get here. We can't even re-roll anything from the regen. In fact, we could roll the regen lower. That sounds like a good idea. But these are all pretty well rolled, actually. It's interesting to look through these things and see how well you've rolled in the affix ranges. Again, you can do that by actually holding control down as well, and it shows it on the tooltip there. So you can see when you find an item how good it potentially is for your level. But we got a few nice little upgrades there. How's our Enchantress doing? I haven't actually been really paying much attention to kitting her out. I should keep an eye out for high vitality and intelligence things for her as well. But that was not too bad, not too bad. I think that's going to kit us up pretty nicely to go into this rift. Certainly a few increases in vitality, taking us over 10,000 life. And our damage is almost 1,100. I remember we were 1k before. So let's go stash all these things here. Oh, I need that rift keystone. You can't actually pull those from your stash if you try to activate the rift. But let's go jump into the rift. We have 2 scrolls to use as well, so hopefully they roll with something good for us when we actually use those. Because I often get bosses. I often get like damage to bosses and things right at the beginning. Okay, so I don't know if there was anything I wanted to change in terms of skills. Potentially things I could change. I think what I was going to do. Someone suggested using fire bats with the fetish sycophants. Sycophants. uh, using fire bats with this to proc it apparently procs it really well, and that would be a pretty good idea. However, I'm pretty happy with my current skill setup. I really like Acid Cloud as well, so I think I might just change this to something else. What could we do? Reduce the cooldown. We're already using that. not too helpful. Pierce the Veil is really nice for the extra damage boost. I don't think we're running too low on mana with this setup either. Cost 150 mana, 175 mana. I think I'll give Pierce the Veil a try, because that's a really nice damage increase. 30% extra mana. I think we can probably front that. Do we have any we have some like mana regen on this. We might have a few other things that help us out with mana a bit as well. But there we go. We'll give that a shot. Okay, so let's head on into the rift, see what monsters spawn, and hopefully we get some pylons. I noticed they're quite rare now. But these are good mobs to spawn. So I want to sort of just pay attention to what my actual skills are again. So I can sort of just sort of burst my mana down and then go back to using Firebomb a little bit more. That'll be the trade-off for running Pierce the Veil, I guess. But Grasp of the Dead gets a nice big damage increase for that, obviously. We seem to be working down these things pretty quickly here. Cool, and these are all pretty cruisy mobs as well. Like the explodies are all, they're pretty easy to avoid. The zombies are nice and slow. Oh, look at that big pack there. Awesome. I love seeing big packs like that. Lots of XP. Teleporter, Vampiric. That's a pretty easy mob combination, really. I'll put our fetish, what is it? Big Bad Voodoo down. And use some acid on this guy here. I'll use another Grasp of the Dead, so that'll help them sort of group up in that little choke point there. Wait for our acid to come back. There we go. And there's another one. I'll use another Grasp of the Dead here. I prioritize using that whenever it's off cooldown, because it has the slowing effect. And I think it does more damage overall as well. We've got 880, 300, 600 over 5 seconds. Actually, Acid Cloud is probably better damage straight up. But you can stack the two up anyway, so you can probably just use these like this. I've got our little slime spawning as well, doing our bidding. I think I moved out of my Big Bad Voodoo shape there, but not having much problems with this rare. Pretty easy kill, really. One last Grasp with the Dead, and there's the Firebombs to finish him off. Just one blue, a focus for the Enchantress. She's not high enough level to use this yet. That's interesting. That's a pretty high vitality one, but our other one's much better. So I think we're pretty right for that now. Let's grab that Nephilim Glory there. Work our way through the chickens. Sometimes I see the chickens and don't sort of feel that there's mobs there because the chickens don't look very threatening. Stand out of the way of that explosion. I'll just sort of... Oh, there's a hatchet back there. I'm not going to go back for a hatchet. I might try and round up a few more of these guys. Let's get our Fetish Army. Alright, I've got to spawn that on top of those guys. I forgot about that. Let's attack these and let them spawn their extra zombies as well, because we do get XP from those. I should be reusing my Spirit Walk to maneuver a bit more as well, and to minimise the amount of damage I'm taking. Let's group these guys up, throw down Acid Clouds there. The longer they sort of stick in the same area, the more damage they take from the Acid Cloud as well. Oh, yes! Is this our first legendary on this character? I think it is. I was just yelling out, oh yes, about the explosions, but then a legendary dropped at the same time. Pretty nice timing on that one there. But a belt! Oh, this is sick! We needed a belt upgrade, and belts can be pretty interesting. And it's actually something I can use. That's the main thing to be excited about. It's not like I dropped like a Monk Fist weapon. I swear, my first two legendaries in Diablo 3 Vanilla were Monk Fist weapons, both in Hardcore, when I was not playing a monk. What? I got so scammed in that. But I'm keen to try out this belt. Let's kill this. I love these mob spawns. Man, I'm having fun in this rift. This is awesome. I love just like chain killing these exploding grotesque mobs, because they deal damage to all the mobs around them, obviously, so... I just sort of set those off and everything ends up dying. And the zombies are nice and fun to kill. I love killing zombies. Something so satisfying about them. My favourite zones in Diablo, like Diablo 2, and pretty much every other action RPG I've ever played, is usually the first zones, because they always spawn with like skeletons and zombies, and they're my most favourite mobs to fight. So we have a legendary belt. Let's ID it. Let's check it out. I'm pretty psyched. Legendary hype. It's Quoj Wrap? It increases Fire Bats damage. Well, there we go. The person who requested Fire Bats might, Oh, wow. Locust Swarm also slows enemies by 60%. That's the legendary effect there. Wow, that's pretty nice. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. It's not like those regen boots I found in my Wizard, if you guys remember back to that, where I could just, like, face tank anything. But this seems a bit more balanced, but still nice. We've got the skill increase on Fire Bats and the Locust Swarm slow effect, which is pretty insane, actually. It means once you're running Locust Swarm, you don't need to run any other sort of slow, because 60% slow from that. That kind of spreads around, is pretty powerful as well. And straight up, it's got, obviously, much nicer stats than mine. And the Fire Bat increase is sort of like, this is sort of the thing that's encouraging you to, you know, you found this item, why not try out Fire Bats and maybe throw some Locust Swarm in there as well? And then my mind starts to tick. I'm thinking, interesting. Throwing down like Locust Swarm on my enemies, they sort of get slowed and grouped up, and then I Fire Bat them down. That's pretty cool. Maybe that'll be the go for next episode. I'll stick with this build for now, but that's starting to inspire me, which is good. This is exactly what you want from, you know, your legendary items you find, and that's kind of the direction they're heading with Reaper of Souls. So one of the things I really like about the beta here. But no doubt you guys probably saw my video talking about the way they're changing loot drops, you know, account binding and things like that. And as I sort of said, the final point from that video was really that although I dislike bind on account as like a way of dealing with what Blizzard sees to be problems with the game, what they're doing in sight of that, you know, what they've done after sort of making that decision to make a lot of stuff bind on account, I really like what they're doing after that. So sort of like, you know, initial bad, not so fan of that, not so much of a fan of that. Let's get in here and pop this Fetish Army. Oh, mass destruction. Not much a fan of the bind on account, but what they've done after that, once they've made that decision, so sort of just accepting that, I'm pretty happy with. I like a lot of the things they've done with that in mind, so it's pretty cool stuff. And I like, you know, I do like the style of it as something different to other RPGs I've played, so that's pretty cool. But getting pretty nice kills on this guy. I'm actually quite liking this setup. It seems really effective. And I got my Big Bad Voodoo here. Since we've got like a pretty large pack here, I might as well stand in this area and sort of work these guys down. I think the attack speed's not too helpful for me with this build, so maybe that is one skill I could probably think about changing if I was doing this setup. But I quite like the Fetish Army as like a big damage burst, and also helping you out in more dangerous fights by having those extra minions there, without being like a full-on summoner build. Because you know, you guys saw every build I was rocking before was like some form of pet build, and although this summons these guys, it's more of like a temporary skill thing. It's not a constant thing, which is nice because I feel quite inclined to make a pet build with a summoner, but with a witch doctor. But I think there's more to it. There's much more potential. That trap just catapulted us all the way. That was awesome. All right, let's reposition over here. Get some acid clouds happening. Let's get a little bit focused. I'm about to level up too, which that means if I remember, we can craft some gloves. I think it was level 35 was gloves. Let's throw down another Grasp of the Dead there and get some firebombing action. Pretty good stuff. We're working these guys down pretty well. Now, Enchantress is going ham in there. She's doing work with those chickens. She's really letting that fly a lot of the time now. I know they have rebalanced a lot of those skills since since vanilla, so they some of them proc more often, or are more utility based rather than. Well, some actually have more damage now as well, but whereas they did like no damage before. So an interesting sort of set of changes overall. Alright, these guys will work down pretty easily. Let's group up some more guys. Oh, there's a goblin. No, focus time. Oh, I should prop my Fetish Army on top of him. There we go. Big Bad Voodoo is almost off cooldown, but I don't think I'm going to need it. We're going to get rid of this guy. He's like sort of locked in there from all the damage, and the slime holding him there as well. Awesome stuff. Whoa, and there's the big explosion with the level. Right when the horror exploded there. Awesome stuff. Let's throw down a big... no, I'll keep this for the boss, actually, because it's probably going to be on cooldown otherwise. Sacrifice Rune with Pride. So maybe we could do like some sort of pet sacrificing build with that. Rush of Essence. I have no idea what that one does. That'd be interesting to check out. Let's grab this stuff here, see if we got anything good. Any other skills? I think I might have missed what one of them was. But I want to check, just sort of briefly check out what that rune is. Spirit Spells return 100 mana over 10 seconds. Spirit Spells. So Spirit Spells are Haunt, Horrify, Mass Confusion, Soul Harvest, Spirit Barrage, and Spirit Walk. So although you could have like a burst attacks that consume a lot of mana, and then you get your mana back much over time. It's like a huge burst of regen. Interesting. I've never really looked into that passive before. It might have actually been one that changed. I don't know. As I said, I don't have too much experience with the Witch Doctor overall. Let's round up some more of these guys. I think these guys are all really susceptible to our AoE. This, as you can tell by my progress bar being almost full already, this is rifts essentially spawn very differently each time. Sometimes you'll get a rift that's like... It's possible to have rifts that are like 10 levels, 10 short levels. And, whoa, here comes the boss. We have one of the snakes from Act 3. Interesting, I haven't seen this one before. But rifts, yeah, you could have 10 short levels with hardly any mobs in the early ones, but more mobs in the later ones. Or you could have one big open one like this, like what I've had here, where you know, we just worked our way through like what seems like a pretty small section, but the density was insane. So this is actually a really sick rift to farm, and I'll probably actually clear it out a bit more. So this boss is hurting me quite a bit. What's it got? So it's got whirly winds going on there. Let's throw down Grasp of the Dead here. I'm just trying to gauge. I should throw my fetish army down, get the voodoo happening as well. I'm pretty sure the voodoo will buff the fetishes as well, so pretty good stuff. Let's throw down though. Oops, I should continue to hold force stand still when I'm casting Grasp of the Dead. As you saw, I cast it, but it went cooldown and I actually moved forwards there. Is that a gem just there? Yeah, flawless diamond. Working down these guys. I should be using Acid Cloud. I sort of just got like tunnel vision there using my skill. So we've got a lot of whirlwinds up on that side, but as long as we stay on this side, I think we'll be fine. Looks like he's spawning these little bugs as well, so I'm going to have to keep those under control. Thankfully, my setup is really AoE heavy, so as long as I've got mana, I'm going to be able to keep those adds down pretty well, I think. Alright, let's just drop back here a little bit and use Grasp of the Dead. Sort of just want to keep my distance a bit. Yeah, he just spawned a heap there, so I want to cross to the other side and, you know, use my Acid Clouds to work those down. Pretty effective. 2 Acid Clouds seems to take care of those pretty much all the way there. Let's get some more damage in here. Let's spawn some more. I'm going to stay out of that whirlwind, would be a good idea. Alright, let's switch to the other side again. Might get my fetish army off cooldown again before the end of this fight. That'd be good to see. It is a really long cooldown. I reckon focusing on cooldown reduction with a setup like this would be pretty nice. Taking a bit of damage here. Going to sort of reposition. You know, just trying to manage the amount of damage I'm taking over time. Also, really take advantage of those health globes. Health globes feel so much more important now. It's really nice. I really like that. Because they were just kind of nothing before in vanilla. I really never ever paid attention to them. Only when I was like playing a strafe Demon Hunter build, where those would keep me going in terms of my resources. But did I ever pay attention to them? But whoa, that's bad. We still have a potion off cooldown. I need to work on some of these ads, because when I get Vortex... So she's like, she or he or whatever, has started Vortexing now, as you just saw. So that sort of must have been the skill that became active at about half-life there. So I need to... Whoa, that's really scary. I need to make sure I have Spirit Walk off cooldown for when that happens. Spawning snakes too now, or did that come from something else? Alright, here's another Nephilim Glory. We've got 2 stacks of that now. Let's pop our Fetish Army there, and oh, not good. Let's get another Grasp of the Dead happening. I sort of want to stay away from those other ads if I can while I'm fighting this boss until I work them down. Alright, another Grasp of the Dead in there. Keeping that AoE up. We're working it down slowly, sort of just while playing safe, trying to manage these ads as much as possible. Alright, let's go some more Acid Clouds there. Another Grasp of the Dead. Let's get out of here. I got those health globes if I need them. Another one there. Let's grab that health globe. And we'll go Grasp of the Dead when that comes off cooldown. Oh, we've got enough mana, I mean. Ooh, taking a lot of damage when we get surrounded. So we're doing alright as long as I sort of manage to not get surrounded there. Alright, we're getting pretty close to the kill now. I have pretty low on health, but I can pop over here and get this. Alright, here we go. This has been a pretty fun, fast and furious episode, and a legendary drop. I'm pretty happy with this one. Alright, and let's... Oh man, quite a few ads in here. It's getting pretty crazy by the end of this fight. It's a pretty exciting boss fight. Alright, cool. Alright, almost down, just sort of going to focus fire it a little bit. Oh no, we don't want to be standing there. Let's go another Grasp of the Dead there. Spawn a bunch more, a few more locusts in there. Sort of keep these guys together. Oh no, oh not good. Alright, another Spirit Walk out of there. Oh, getting close. Out of mana. Another Grasp of the Dead, slow down those ones, give me a... Whoa! A big spawn back there. Alright, another Acid Cloud in there. Another Grasp of the Dead. Oh, everything's been chickened. Good work, Enchantress. Oh, so close to the kill. We're out of mana. Another Grasp of the Dead. This next Acid Cloud, I reckon, will be the kill. And... No, no! Oh! Taking way too much damage in there. There we go! Oh yeah, there's the loot. And 25 blood shards as well. So, this is the main way you're getting your blood shards as well, as you saw. I just got 25 from the boss. So this is where the rift changed in terms of, like, we don't get these loot baggies at the end now, but instead we get the reward from the boss, which I think is a pretty good change. Let's check out this stuff we got. Quite a few drops. Man, that was an exciting fight. That was really fun. I like it. cool. Let's check out this stuff. See what we got in terms of loot here. Ooh, nice. Nice one-hander. And it's rolled vitality, so we could re-roll that. It's interesting, if you get a really nice weapon, but one of the stats is wrong, you don't have any damage stat on it, you can actually roll the damage stat on the weapon. So I remember, I've done that before previously, so here's a nice helmet. And that's a pretty bad chest. This is not a bad pair of shoulders. I think our current one's, I don't know, yeah, too much of a damage sacrifice for that. What else have we got here? What about this weapon here? This has no socket, but we could re-roll one of those stats into a socket potentially. But I think the axe here is much better, much higher damage roll. Yeah, let's stick with the axe. So we'll go with that one. What else have we got in here? A scoundrel token, not too helpful. And I really like our other helmet. This is a huge vitality roll on this. It has the socket, but it doesn't. We lose a fair bit of damage. That's not bad though. It's not a bad helmet. Maybe I'll see if we can do anything with that. Alright, those ones all look pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to clear out the rest of the rift. Just sort of pretty cruisy. I'll just group some stuff up, and then we'll check out the items we've got, maybe do a little bit more misting crafting, and maybe even just a touch of gambling. Oh man, this is such an amazing rift. Like, check out this mob density. This is insane. This is the best spawn rift I've ever seen, for sure. That is insane. So much XP in here. It's crazy. And they're all like really nice mobs to just sort of cruisily round up. Like, they're not that much of a threat as long as you don't sort of get stupid and get in the middle of them all. They're really cruisy, and you can sort of keep that Grasp of the Dead up on them. Just so much in here, just so jam-packed. Like, I can just run in here and check out these guys here. There's another rare over there as well, cool stuff. It's, oh, it's got Lightning Storm there. They've changed the Lightning Storm affix as well. I had some complaints about it earlier in the series, and sort of talked about it a few times. But before it was basically an unavoidable nuke and a lot of damage, and if you're a somewhat squishy character, they'd just outright kill you. It was a terribly designed affix. But now the first strike, sort of, I'm not sure how the first strike is determined, but after that, all subsequent strikes in that sort of volley are clustered around that first strike, so you can avoid it much better. So I'm not sure how the first one's avoided, but it seems like a much better designed affix now. You saw I sort of was able to get out of the way of most of those there. So I'm not sure if that first one is still like a homing deal, or if it's avoidable all around now. I feel like I'm still going to take one of those hits, but seems much better, so I'm pretty happy about that. Otherwise, this guy's what, Electrified and Thunderstorm. He's an electric type Pokemon if I ever saw one.
Need more time.
Man, this rift is massive. I'm almost about to hit level 38 even. Like, I've gotten so much XP in here. And we got the boss. We spawned the boss by like running that like what looks to be like less than a quarter of it, and it's still going. Like, just non-stop density like this is probably the most insane rift I've ever seen. Like, and there's rifts that are like entire goblins and stuff, but in terms of normal like mobs spawning, this is insane. This is such a good rift. Value rift, #1 value. But there's another level already. I wouldn't be surprised if we got another. I feel like it has to end. Like, we must be close to full clearing it now. But this has been insane. Definitely worth full clearing this rift, like running through it and getting the rest of these packs here. Holy crap. So much value. This is insane. Oh! Oh, this is so insane. There's another level. Holy crap. Hey, we got a new Acid Cloud rune, Slow Burn. Gargantuan rune, Wrathful Protector. I'm keen to check out that Acid Cloud rune since we're sort of using Acid Cloud at the moment. I'm like still going, look how massive this thing is. I can't believe the boss spawned so early, like after killing such a small percentage of it. It's just like so much mob density that we'll like killed like 1/10 of the map and the boss spawned. Man, it would be a real shame to leave something like this after just killing that boss. Oh, what? I didn't even see that drop. Legendary dagger in there. I better get all that stuff out of it. Oh, I'm full inventory. Man, it's so much loot. Oh, this really is insane. Like, I've heard some complaints about low mob density in the Reaper of Souls beta, and you know they're lowering the mob density overall, but not here. Not in my rift. Certainly no mob density issues in here. This has been insane. This has like been, I don't know, what, 20 minutes or 15-20 minutes of like the most high dense areas of Act 3 jam-packed in and then multiplied by like 1.5. It's insane. This is our second legendary in here, and we've had none leveling this character so far, so 2 legendaries in the same rift. I get the sense that what they were trying to achieve with making rifts the place where, you know, where you really want to be farming is, that's happening here. I did get one of those little XP shrines as well, so on top of all this extra XP, just a little bit of extra. Just a little bit of bonus. But I want to grab that dagger, but I need to kill these blues. This blue pack here has actually been pretty pesky. Extra health teleporter. Pretty annoying. Not too dangerous, but pretty annoying. Alright, I need to actually like get rid of some of my amazing loot. So that's some first world problems there. Which ones are the higher levels? These ones. So we'll drop these lower ones here. That's fine. Let's pick up this dagger. Let's check it out. This could be a nice upgrade for us. We did find another weapon upgrade here, which I should probably just start using. I don't know why I'm not using already. But let's ID that one there. Oh. Pig sticker, legendary dagger, new transmog, pig sticker. Alright. Whoa! 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 Oh, I almost died looking at a legendary. Don't AFK on top of these things. So, okay, these swamp areas have these little bubbly things that spawn in like just in the random swamp areas, and they spawn randomly, and they deal a crap ton of damage over time, and I almost died to it. Alright. So, pig sticker. 180 intelligence, massive intelligence roll. Let's actually see what the range is on it. It's about middle of the range for its actual rolls. The poison damage seems to be about middle of the range too, so it's not too bad. Actually, it's probably on the lower end of the spectrum. Maybe I could even re-roll that and get higher damage. But what else do we have? Cooldown of skills, reduced resource costs, both of those okay rolls. And we also have the secondary stats of increased damage to beasts and humans. So only beast type or human type mobs we're getting extra damage for. We rolled pretty poorly on both of those actually. The max range being 30%, which 30% increased damage against any mob type is pretty insane. And it's got the squeal legendary affix, so it makes a squealing sound. You'll hear that soon, I am sure. But we also got a socket as well, so I need to find a red gem. But let's, even without the red gem, this is a huge damage increase. The intelligence plus the extra damage, we're going to see 1500 DPS at the moment to 2150 pretty much. So that's without the gem as well. So as soon as we find, we've got this like ruby here, I could stick this in for now. That's one of the lower ones, but there we go, up to 130. 2350 damage, a huge damage increase. I should be, yeah, as you can see, like, the damage over time from those acid clouds probably going to one-shot most of these guys now. Let's spawn my fetish army as well. They're going to deal a lot of extra damage in here. Pretty sick. Man, it's such value in this rift. Can we hit level 40 in this rift? Sure, why not? There we go, we got our level 40 hardcore achievement as well. Nice. And we got a few more runes there as well. You can hear the pig sticker going off in the background. Right? Yeah. Devoted following on the fetish army rune, cool. We've got a second rune for that now, and vision quest for the passive, which I seem to recall that being pretty good. I want to check these out actually. Both the fetish one, I've got to check out the acid cloud rune, and pig stickers going crazy in there, doing heaps of damage to these guys now. All right, let's check out some of these runes. So we've got the new acid cloud rune, slow burn, increase the duration the acid pools left behind to deal 720% weapon damage as poison over 6 seconds. So. Acid on the ground forms into slime. I don't mind the slimes, they're pretty good. That's a huge damage increase though. Wow, 360 up to 720. And the fact that we're dealing, we run out of mana quite often with Acid Cloud, I actually quite like that. So the duration is 6 seconds, so I can sort of just alternate between that and Grasp of the Dead, and probably manage my mana a bit better, so I actually quite like that. I think I will use that. Fetish Army is Devoted Following, which gives decreases the cooldown to 90 seconds from 120, so that's pretty nice. And we've currently got the Fetish Ambush, which deals a bit of extra damage. It's actually, that 250% weapon damage, like with how often it happens, every 2 minutes, is really not that big a deal. So I think I like the decreased cooldown on that one there, so I'll give that a shot. Now we also have a rune for Big Bag Voodoo here, Rain Dance, which restores 250% or 250 mana per second, which would be helpful in some builds, but I don't think it's too helpful in my current setup. But I do want to check out this new passive as well. When you deal damage with Corpse Spiders, Firebomb, Plague of Toads, or Poison Dart, your mana regeneration is increased by 30% for 5 seconds. That's pretty nice. If we're having mana problems with our setup, that's something we could use. I think I'll stick with Pierce the Veil though, because I like that extra damage. So some pretty cool new ones in there. Yeah, you can really see the extra damage on that acid cloud there, just taking those guys out. I'll like bunch up a heap of these guys here. We'll throw the fetish army in there as well, so they can sort of hold them still, and then we just melt everything with this. Pretty nice stuff. And then the explosions, of course, cleaning up everything as well. Oh. Alrighty, we've just about full cleared this rift now. Massive. We got the boss like here from clearing that, and look how much extra there was. That was really insane. So let's go check out our awesome loot, shall we? Now, I don't think we get anything after the rifts anymore, because we got the loot, extra loot from the killing the boss. Oh, we do get a bit of extra XP and gold, so it's definitely worth talking to him. Okay, let's check out, we'll go salvage. I'll just check out these items first and salvage everything that's not quite worth anything. Whoa! Man, if this was like an endgame pair of gloves, that'd be insane. We've got all the stats on there. Intelligence, vitality, crit hit, damage, crit hit, chance. Wow, I'm definitely going to keep that aside. There's I could probably reroll one of those stats higher as well, so that's really insane. I mean, that's a really nice pair of gloves there. And, oh man, some of this stuff's just, like, really good. I can't actually, like... There's, like, multiple copies of things. I can't determine which is best yet. But let's just salvage up the rest of this stuff and see what I can do. Okay, so first up, we have 3 helmets to decide from. We've got a crit, intelligence, vitality... helmet here. It's probably going to be the best straight up because of that combination there. This one was okay, but compared to that other one, we can probably get rid of it. And this one's really nice as well. It's really high intelligence roll, vitality, and sacrifice. If you're going for a sacrifice build, that'd be the one to go for. But I think we'll stick with the crit one here. The crit intelligence vitality is a really nice set there. Those gloves are insane. We were going to keep that aside. That was our previous weapon. This ring here has potential. Well, it looks pretty bad now. It's got a higher base damage than our current ring, and we can actually reroll. Oh, we might not actually be able to reroll. We determined that we needed the higher level stuff, didn't we? Let's see what we can do. Yeah, okay, so we're not, that ring's not worth anything then. So while leveling, rings have to be good outright. You can't really re-roll them, so we can get rid of all that stuff. That's all pretty worthless, but we've got a really nice pair of gloves here, so we'll put those straight on our hands, and I'll grab that one as well. Now I need some gems going on, so let's go do that. I'll salvage some things up and get some gems. Alrighty, so I just crafted up a heap of gems. We've got some good stuff going on here. Actually, I need to unsuck this weapon because I want to stick a better ruby in that. Let's max out this DPS. It's going to be pretty nice. So, craft, gem remover, remove that gem. 4k, pretty steep. Whew. But we've got 15 bonus damage here, so it's going to bring our DPS up to 2,750. And see what we can reroll. I did accidentally say I could reroll this, but actually we need the higher level stuff to reroll legendaries while leveling. So again, another thing you really can't do. But legendaries generally drop to be so much better than the rares you're getting while leveling anyway. So this will keep us out of trouble for the next 5 or 10 levels probably. But and now we get it as a transmog later as well, which is pretty cool. But we want the XP in our helmet for sure. Now we have another slot somewhere. No, I think we're good on slots now. We could potentially remove some of this stuff and put some like all resist and intelligence in there, but I'm not going to fuss around with that too much at the moment. But let's see what we can actually enchant. Now we found shoulders, so there's probably not too much I can do with this. I can increase the vitality roll, and that's probably the best thing to do. Otherwise, like, what else am I going to get? There's so many other things I could get from re-rolling that vitality. It'll be pretty hard to actually re-roll that vit on there. Let's give it a shot anyway. It will soulbind it to me, that's fine. That's fine. Reduces cooldowns of skills, vitalities, summon me dogs. I think I'll stick with vitality for now. Let's see what else we can get. There's a 72 vitality. I'm pretty happy with that. The Grasp of the Dead's really nice as well, though. I'm using Grasp of the Dead still. Ooh, 13% is a huge damage buff. Let's go 13% damage. Nice. Okay, cool. Now, this is our amazing pair of gloves. What can we do? The crit chance is max. The crit damage is max. The vitality is pretty high, about high over halfway, and the intelligence is almost maxed. And the other thing is reflect, which actually resist. We're totally rerolling to resist. Although we can get a little bit of extra vitality on there, this rerolling to like, you know, a 16 to 20 resist is going to be much, much better. So let's just see what resist we get. I'll just take the first one and it doesn't really matter too much. And there's 19 lightning, which is pretty nice. The XP wasn't too bad as well. But 19, look at that. That is an amazing pair of gloves for this level. That's so good. Alright, now can we do anything on this helmet? We have vitality could be doubled. Oh, whoa, that's the worst vitality roll you've ever seen. Otherwise, you know, we've got everything else is really nice on here. Like, they could be improved slightly, but that vitality is so bad, I really need to re-roll that. There's 79. That's still pretty bad. Let's see if we can get better than that. Fire bats, nope. Let's stick with vitality. Let's go with the vitality. The fire bats would actually be pretty good if we wanted to go for the extra fire bats on there. I'm liking having a lot of life per hit, actually. How's my life going? 14k life. Oh, I do like having the raw life there. 109. There we go. That's much better. What was the max? 127. Still way far off, but we got an extra 40 vitality there just by re-rolling that. Now, did we have anything else to sort of fuss around with? Just to change around. This is a really nice chest. I actually can't do anything with that. And I think everything else is pretty much sorted now. I don't think there's anything. Can I re-roll this sacrifice to something useful? No, like regen. Oh, well, I'll do that anyway. There we go, there's a 12 regen. Cool, I'm happy with that. Bit of extra survivability on there. But pretty insane. Like, that was a super progressive episode. And look at our sick new helmet. How insane is that thing? It's like some creature or a bug that's been turned into a helmet. And pretty badass. Pretty badass. So we managed to get ourselves a legendary belt, the Forge Wrap, and a pig sticker as well. So, man, smashing it. Smashing it. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. That's it for now. I'm Ziggy D, and thanks for watching.